you for joining us this Saturday, March 6th for the first live stream showing of Nassau Community College's production of A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Given how difficult it has been for the performing arts to function during the pandemic and these trying times, we would just like to give a special thank you to the theater department and all the administration here at NCC for their care and support throughout this process. We wouldn't be here without you.
A few things to keep in mind before we get started. Throughout the show, feel free to use the live chat feature. Ask a question to the actors, tell us what part you thought was funny, or just tell us your favorite part in general.
After the show, we'll have a quick talk back with the cast and the director. If you have a question for the actors or the director, put it in the chat or send us an email by responding to the email with all the show information.
Our adaptation of A Midsummer Night's Dream will run just under an hour long.
Thank you for tuning in and enjoy the show.
Whither wander you?
Over hill, over dale, through bush, through briar, through flood, through fire, I do wander everywhere. Farewell, love of spirits, I'll be gone. Our queen and all our elves come here and on.
The king doth keep his revels here tonight. Take heed, the queen come not within his sight, because she, as her attendant hath, a lovely boy stolen from an Indian king. And jealous Oberon would have the boy, knight of his train, to trace the forest wild. But she perforce withholds the loved boy.
Either I mistake your shape in making quite, or else you are that shrewd and knavish sprite called Robin Goodfellow. Are not you he?
Thou speakest aright. I am that merry wanderer of the night. But a room, fairies, here comes Oberon.
And here, my mistress.
Proud Titania.
What's jealous, Oberon? Fairies, skip hence. I have forsworn his bedding company.
Tarry, rash wanton. Am I not thy lord?
Then I must be thy lady. Why art thou here? But that forsooth of bouncing Amazon, thy buskin mistress and your warrior love, to Theseus must be wedded, and you come to give their bed joy and prosperity.
How canst thou thus for shame, Titania, glance at my credit with Hippolyta, knowing I know thy love for Theseus? I do but beg a little changeling boy to be my henchman.
Set your heart at rest. His mother was a votaress of my order. She, being mortal, if that boy did die. And for her sake, I do rear up her boy. And for her sake, I will not part with him.
How long within this wood intend you stay?
Perchance till after Theseus' wedding day.
Give me the boy, and I will go with thee.
Not for thy fairy kingdom. Fairies away.
Well, go thy way. Thou shalt not from this grove till I torment thee for this injury. My gentle Puck, mother, fetch me that flower. The herb I shewed thee once, that the juice of it on sleeping eyelids laid shall make man or woman madly dote upon the next live creature that it sees.
I'll put a girdle around the earth in 40 minutes.
Having once this juice, I'll watch Titania when she is asleep, then drop the liquor of it in her eyes. Next thing then she waking looks upon, be it a lion, a bear, bull, or wolf, she shall pursue it with the soul of love. And ere I take this charm from off her sight, I'll make her render up her page to me. But who comes here? I'm invisible, and I will overhear their conference. Now, fair Hippolyta,
I got it!
our nuptial hour draws on apace. For happy days bring in another moon. are my desires.
4 days will quickly steep themselves in nights, 4 nights will quickly dream away the time, and then the moon shall behold the night of our solemnities.
Happy be Theseus, our renowned duke.
Thanks, good Aegeus. What's the news with thee?
Oh, full of vexation come I with complaint against my child, my daughter Hermia. Stand forth, Demetrius, my noble lord. This man hath my consent to marry her. Stand forth, Lysander, and my gracious duke. This man hath bewitched the bosom of my child. With cunning hast thou filched my daughter's heart. Be it so she not here before your grace consent to marry with Demetrius. I beg the ancient privilege of all Athens, as she is mine. I may dispose of her, which shall be either to this gentleman or to her death, according to our law.
What say you, Hermia? Be advised, fair maid. To you, your father should be as a god. Demetrius is a worthy gentleman.
So is Lysander.
In himself he is, but in this kind, watching your father's voice, the other must be held worthier.
I beseech your grace that I may know the worst that may befall me in this case if I refuse to wed Demetrius.
Either to die the death or to abjure forever the society of men. You can endure the livery of a nun.
So I will grow, so live, so die, my lord. Oh.
Take time to pause, and by the next new moon, either prepare to die or wed Demetrius.
Relent, sweet Hermia, and Lysander, yield thy praised title to my certain right.
You have her father's love, Demetrius. Let me have Hermia's. Do you marry him?
Oh, scornful Lysander. True, he hath my love, and what is mine my love shall render him, and she is mine.
I am, my lord, as well derived as he, as well possessed. My love is more than his, and more than all these boasts can be. I am beloved of beauteous Hermia. Demetrius, I'll avouch it to his head, made love to Nader's daughter Helena, and won her soul, and she, sweet lady, devoutly dotes upon this spotted, inconsistent man.
I must confess I've heard so much. But Demetrius, come, and Aegeus, come. I have some private schooling for you both.
How now, my love? Why is your cheek so pale? What chance the roses there do fade so fast?
Oh, how to choose what by others' eyes.
Hear me, Hermia. I have a widowed aunt. From Athens is her house remote 7 leagues, and she respects me as her only son. There, gentle Hermia, may I marry thee, and the sharp Athenian law cannot pursue us. If thou lovest me then, steal forth from thy father's house tomorrow night, and meet me in the wood, and there will I stay for thee.
My good Lysander, I swear to thee, by Cupid's strongest bow, truly will I meet with thee.
Look, here comes Helena.
Godspeed, fair Helena. Whither away?
Oh, you me fair, that fair again unsay. Demetrius loves your fair. Oh, happy fair. Oh, teach me how you look, and with what art you sway the motion of Demetrius's heart.
Oh, I give him purses, yet he gives me love.
Oh, that my frowns could teach your smiles of skill.
The more I hate, the more he follows me.
The more I love, the more he hateth me.
His folly, Helena, is no fault of mine.
None but your beauty would that fault were mine.
Take comfort, you no more shall see my face. Lysander and myself will fly this place, and thence from Athens turn away our eyes. Good luck, sweet plated fellow, and pray thou for us. Grant thee thy Demetrius. Helena, adieu. As you on him, Demetrius dote on you. Let's go.
How happy some or other son can be. Through Athens I am thought as fair as she, but what of that Demetrius thinks not so. I will go tell him of fair Hermia's flight. Then to the wood will he tomorrow night pursue her. And for this intelligence, if I have thanks, it is a dear expense.
Is all our company here? Here is the scroll. of every man's name which is thought fit through all Athens to perform in our interlude before the Duke and the Duchess on his wedding day at night.
First, good Peter
Here,
Quince,
here.
say what the play treats on, and then read the names of the actors.
Marry, our play is the most lamentable comedy and most cruel death of Pyramus and Thisbe. Answer as I call you. Ah, Nick Bottom, the weaver. You, Nick Bottom, are set down for Pyramus.
What is Pyramus? A lover or a tyrant?
A lover that kills himself most gallant for love.
Well, that will ask for some tears in the true performing of it. If I do it, let the audience look to their eyes. I will move storms. I will condole in some measure.
All right. Francis Flute. Oh, yeah. The bellows mender. Flute, you must take Thisbe on you.
Oh, what is Thisbe? A wandering knight?
It is the lady that Pyramus must love.
Nay, faith! Let me not play a woman. I have a beard coming in my
Let me play Thisbe too. I'll speak in a monstrous little voice. Thisbe, Thisbe, ah, Pyramus, lover dear, and lady dear.
No, you must play Pyramus and Flute, you Thisbe.
Well, proceed.
Yeah, proceed.
Robin Starveling, the tailor. You must play Thisbe's mother.
Sweet.
Tom Stout, the tinker.
That's me.
You, Pyramus's father.
Yes.
Myself, Thisbe's father. Ah, Snug, the joiner, yes. You, the lion's part, and I hope here is a play fitted.
The lion's part written. Pray give it to me, for I'm slow of study.
Well, it is nothing but roaring.
Let me play the lion too. I will roar that I will do any man's heart good to hear me. I will roar that I will make the Duke say, let him roar again! Let him roar again! Let him roar again!
Calm down.
And you should do it too terribly. You would frighten the Duchess and the ladies that they would shriek, and that were enough to hang us all.
I guess it can be helped.
You can play no part but Pyramus.
Well, I will undertake it.
Masters, here are your props. Tomorrow night, meet me in the palace wood by moonlight. There will we rehearse. Pray you, fail me not.
We will meet, and there we may rehearse, most obscenely and courageously. Take pains. Be perfect. Adieu.
That was a pretty good rehearsal.
Little lanes of beard. How you like that, huh?
Oh, well, rehearsal's over. Sweet. I love thee not, therefore pursue me not. Where is Lysander and fair Hermia? The one I'll slay, the other slayeth me.
You draw me, you hard-hearted adamant.
Do I entice you? Do I speak you fair? Or rather, do I not in plainest truth tell you I do not nor I cannot love you?
And even for that do I love you the more.
Tempt not too much the hatred of my spirit, for I am sick when I do look on thee.
And I am sick when I look not on you.
You do impeach your modesty too much, to leave the city and commit yourself into the hands of the one that loves you not, to trust the opportunities of night.
Your wrongs do set a scandal on my sex. We cannot fight for love as men may do. We should be wood. And we're not made to woo. Follow thee and make a heaven of hell to die upon the hand I love so well.
Fare thee well, nymph. Ere he do leave this grove, and thou shalt fly with him to seek his love. Hast thou the flower there?
Ah, there it is.
I pray thee, give it to me. Take thou some of it and seek through this grove. A sweet Athenian lady is in love with a disdainful youth anointing his eyes. But do it when the next thing he espies might be the young lady. Thou shalt know the man by the Athenian garments he hath on.
Fear not, my lord, your servant shall do so.
in a fairy dance. Sing me now asleep, then to your offices and let me rest.
Fair love, you faint with wandering in the wood, and to speak troth, I have forgot her way. We'll rest us, Hermia, if you think it good, and tarry for the comfort of the day.
Be it so, Lysander. Find you out of bed. For I upon this bank will rest my head.
One turf shall serve as pillow for us both. One bed, one heart, two bosoms, and one troth.
Nay, good Lysander, do not lie so near. For my sake, my dear, lie further off yet. Do not lie so near. Such separation as may as well be said becomes a virtuous bachelor and a med. So far, be distant. 6 feet. Thank you. And a good night, sweet friend. Oh, thy love ne'er alter till thy sweet life ends.
Oh, man. Men. Oh, men. To that fair prayer, say I. And then end life when I end loyalty. Here is mine. Sleep gives thee all his rest.
Who is here? Weeds of Athens he doth wear. Sleep his seat on thy eyelids, so he'll awake when I am gone. For I must now to Oberon.
Stay, don't thou kill me, sweet Demetrius.
I charge thee hence, and do not haunt me thus.
Oh, I am out of breath in this fond chase. The more my prayer, the lesser is my grace. But who is here? Lysander on the ground, dead or asleep? I see no blood, no wound. Lysander, if you live, good sir, awake.
Run through fire I will for thy sweet sake. Oh, transparent Helena, nature shows art that through thy bosom makes me see thy heart. Oh, where is Demetrius? How fit a word is that vile name to perish on my
Do
sword!
not say so, Lysander, say not so. What though he love your Hermia, Lord, what though? Yet Hermia still loves you, then be content.
Content with Hermia? No, I do repent the tedious minutes I with her spent. Not Hermia, but Helena I love.
Wherefore was I to this keen mockery born? When at your hands did I deserve this scorn? Oh, that a lady of one man refused should of another therefore be abused.
Hermia, sleep thou then, and all you my powers address your love and might to honor Helen and to be her knight.
Lysander? Help me. Lysander? Help me. Lysander? Oh, what? Out of hearing? Gone? No sound? No word? Oh. Gosh darn it!
Are we all met?
Pat, and here's a marvelous convenient place for our rehearsal.
Peter Quince.
What sayest thou, Bully Bottom?
There are things in this comedy of Pyramus and Thisbe that will simply never please. First, Pyramus must draw a sword to kill himself, which the ladies cannot abide. How answer you that?
I believe we must leave the killing out when all is done.
Not a wit. I have a device to make all well. Write me a prologue, and let the prologue seem to say, we shall do no harm with our swords, and, for the more better assurance, Tell them that I, Pyramus, am not Pyramus at all, but Bottom, the weaver. This will put them out of fear.
Wonderful. That's usually not good.
Well, we will have such a prologue. Indeed.
You're gonna do it.
Wait!
What?
Won't the ladies be afraid of the lion?
I fear it, I'll promise you.
God shield us, a lion among ladies is a most dreadful thing.
So, we'll just have to write a prologue for the lion as well.
And there indeed let him name his name and tell them plainly he is Snug the joiner.
Yes, if that may be, then all is well. Come, sit down, every mother's son, and rehearse your parts.
What hempen homespuns have we swaggering here so near the cradle of the fairy queen? What? A play toward? I'll be an auditor. An actor too, perhaps, if I see cause.
Speak, Pyramus. Thisbe, stand forth.
Thisbe, the flowers of Odious savour sweet.
Odors!
Odors savour sweet. So hath thy breath, my dearest Thisbe, dear. But hark, a voice. Stay thou but here a while, and by and by I will to thee appear.
A stranger Pyramus than e'er played here.
Must I speak now?
Aye, Mary, must you. You must understand, he goes, but to see a noise that he heard, and is to come again.
Okay.
Most radiant Pyramus, and truest horse that yet would never tire, I'll meet thee, Pyramus, at Minnie's tomb.
Ninus tomb, man!
Oh,
Truest horse that yet would never tire.
If I were fair Thisbe, I were only thine.
Monstrous, so strange, we are haunted, pray masters, fly masters,
This is knavery of them to make me a fear.
Oh, hey, Bottom. Whoa! Bottom! What do I see on thee?
What do you see on me? You see an asset of your own, do you?
Bless thee, Lord, bless thee, thou art translated!
I see their knavery. This is to make an ass of me, to fright me, if they could. But I will not stir from this place. I will walk up and down here, and I shall sing, to show them I am not afraid. Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the sky, and see!
What angel wakes me from my flowery bed? I pray thee, gentle mortal, sing again.
Galileo, 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 Figaro, Magnifico.
My ear is much enamored of thy notes, so is my eye enthralled to thy shape. And thy fair virtues force perforce doth move me, on the first view, to say, to swear I love thee.
Oh, methinks, mistress, you should have little reason for that. And yet, to say the truth, reason and love keep little company together nowadays.
Thou art as wise as thou art beautiful. I'll give thee fairies to attend on thee, and sing while thou on pressed flowers dost sleep. Peas blossom, cobweb, moth, and mustard seed.
Ready? And I.
It's up.
And I.
Where shall we go?
Be kind and courteous to this gentleman.
Hail, mortal. Hail.
Hail.
Come, lead him to my bower. The moon, methinks, looks with a watery eye, lamenting some enforced chastity. Tie up my love's tongue, bring him in silently.
Yeah, she wants that ass.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that one. That's very good.
I wonder if Titania be awake. Then what was it that next came in her eye, which she must look upon in extremity? How now, my spirit? What night rule about this haunted grove?
My mistress with the monster is in love. A crew of patches, rude mechanicals, were here to rehearse a play. The shallowest thick skin of that barren sword, an ass's knoll I fixed on his head, when, in that moment, so it came to pass, Titania waked, and straightway loved an ass.
Oh, this proves out better than I could have planned. But hast thou yet latched the Athenian's eyes, with the love juice, as I did bid thee do?
I took him sleeping, that is finished too.
Stand close. This is the same Athenian.
This is the woman, but not this the man.
Oh, why rebuke you him who loves you so? Lay breath so bitter on your bitter foe.
What's this to my Lysander? Where is he? Good Demetrius, wilt thou give him me?
I had rather give his carcass to my hound.
I pray thee, then tell me that he is well.
If I could, what should I get therefore?
A privilege never to see me more, and from thy hated presence part I so.
There is no following her in this fierce vein. Here, therefore, for a while I will remain.
What hast thou done? Thou hast mistaken quite, and laid the love juice on some true love's sight. By my misprison perforce into some true love turned, and on a false one turned true.
Helena is here at hand, and the youth mistook my me, pleading for a lover's fee. Shall we their fond pageant see? Lord, what fools these mortals be!
Stand aside, the noise they make will cause Demetrius to awake.
Then we'll two at once woo one!
Why do you think that I should woo and scorn?
You do advance your cunning more and more. When truth kills truth, oh devilish holy fray, these vows are Hermia's. Will you give her or?
I had no judgment when to her I swore.
Nor none in my mind. Now you give her or.
Demetrius loves her and loves not you.
Oh, Helena, goddess, nymph, perfect, divine. To what, my love, shall I compare thy eyne, thy lips, those kissing cherries, tempting grow? Oh, let me kiss this princess of pure white, this seal of bliss.
Oh, spite! Oh, hell, I see you all are bent to set against me for your merriment. If you were men, as men you are in show, you would not use a gentle lady so. To vow and swear and super praise my parts when I am sure you hate me with your hearts. You both are rivals and love Hermia, and now both rivals to mock Helena.
You are unkind, Demetrius. Be not so. For you love Hermia. This you know I know.
Never did mockers waste more idle breath.
Lysander, keep thy Hermia, I will none. If e'er I loved her, all that love is gone. Now to Helen, it's his home return, there to remain.
Helen, it is not so.
Look, where thy love comes. Yonder is thy dear.
Thou art not by my eye. Lysander found my ear, I thank him. Brought me to thy cell. But why unkindly dost thou leave me so?
Why should he stay whom love doth press to go?
What love could press Lysander from my side?
Lysander's love that would not let him bide. Fair Helena, why seekest thou me? Could not this make thee know the hate I bear for thee made me leave thee so?
You speak not as you think. It cannot be.
Lo, she is one of this confederacy. Injurious Hermia, most ungrateful maid. Have you conspired? Have you with these contrived to bait me with this foul derision?
I'm amazed at your passionate words. I scorn you not. It seems that you scorn me.
Have you not set Lysander, as in scorn, to follow me and praise my eyes and face, and sent your other love Demetrius, who even but now did spurn me with his foot, to call me goddess, nymph, divine and rare, precious, celestial?
Stay, gentle Helena, hear my excuse. My love, my life, my soul, fair Helena!
Oh, excellent!
We do not scorn her so.
I say I love thee more than he can do.
If thou say it so, withdraw and prove it too!
Lysander, where to tense all this?
Hang off, thou cat! back, thou bird, thou vile thing, and let loose,
No.
or I will shake thee from me like a serpent.
Why are you grown so rude? What changes this sweet love?
Thy love. Out, Tony Tauntaun, out! Out, loathed medicine, hated potion, hence!
Do you not jest?
Yes, Sooth, and so do
I
you.
was not talking to you.
Demetrius, I will keep my word with thee.
I would I had your bond, for I perceive a weak bond holds thee. I'll not trust your word.
What should I hurt her, strike her, kill her dead?
How?
Although I hate her, I'll not harm her so.
What could you do me greater harm than hate? Are not I Hermia? Are not you Lysander? I am as fair now as I was erewhile.
Be certain 'tis no jest that I do hate thee and love Helena.
Oh, no, you don't. Come here.
Ah!
1, 2, 3, yeah!
Oh, me? You juggler, you cake of blossom, you thief of love! What, have you come by night and stolen my most heart from him?
Fine in face, have you no modesty, no maiden shame? What, will you tear sweet answers from my gentle tongue? Fie, you counterfeit, you puppet, you. Good, right?
That was easy. Now I perceive how she has made compare between our stature she hath earned her height. How low my thou painted maypole sweet! How low am I? But I am yet so low but that my nails may reach unto thine eyes.
I pray you don't mock me, gentlemen, let her not strike me. You perhaps may think because she's something lower than myself that I can match her.
Fear not, Helena. She shall not harm thee.
No, sir, she shall not, though you take her part.
Oh, when she is angry, she is keen and shrewd. She was a vixen when she went to school, and though she be but little, she is fierce.
Little again! Nothing but low and little! Why will you suffer me to flout her thus?
Get gone, you dwarf, you minimus of hindering not grass maid, you bead, you acorn.
You are too officious. Let her alone. Speak not of Helena.
Now, follow if thou darest to try who's right, of thine or mine is most in Helena.
Follow? Nay, I'll go with thee. Cheek by jowl.
Oh, they're gone. Now, you, all this coil is long of you. Nay, go not back.
Your hands than mine are quicker for a fray. My legs are longer, though, to run away.
I am amazed, yet know not what to say.
This is thy negligence. Still thou mistakes, or else commits thy knaveries willfully.
Believe me, King of Shadows, I mistook. Was it not you who told me I should know the man by the Athenian garment he had on?
Thou seest these lovers seek a place to fight. Hide therefore, Robin, overcast the night. Then crush this herb into Lysander's eye. And next they wake, all this derision shall seem a dream and fruitless vision. Out to my queen and beg her Indian boy, and then I will her charmed eye release from monster's view, and all things shall be peace.
My fairy lord, this must be done with haste.
Come, sit thee down upon this flowery bed. Why I thy amiable cheeks do coy, and stick musk roses in thy sleek, smooth head, my gentle joy. But wilt thou hear some music, my sweet love?
I have a reasonable good ear in music. Let's have the tongues and the bones. Oh.
Or say, sweet love, what thou desirest to eat.
Truly a peck of provender. I could munch your good dry oats. Methinks I have a great desire to some hay. Good hay. Sweet hay. Hay. No fellow.
I have a venturous fairy that shall fetch the squirrel's hoard and seek thee new nuts.
I had rather have a handful or two of dried peas. But pray you, let none of your people stir me. I have an exposition of sleep come upon me.
Sleep thou, and I will wind thee in my arms. Fairies, be gone, and be always away.
Welcome, good Robin. Seest now the sweet sight? Well, her dotage I do now begin to pity. As now I have the Indian boy, I will release her from this hateful spell. Now, my Titania, wake you, my sweet queen.
My Oberon, what visions have I seen? Methought I was enamored of an ass.
There lies her love.
Ah! How came these things to pass? Oh, my eyes do loathe his visage now.
Silence a while. Robin, take off his head. Sound! Music! Come, my queen. Let us rock the ground whereon these sleepers be.
My daughter here asleep, and this Lysander, this Demetrius, this Helena.
Go get the huntsmen and wake them with their horns. I pray you all stand up. I know you two are rival enemies. How comes this gentle concord in the world, that hatred be so far from jealousy? To sleep I hate and fear no enmity?
My lord, I shall reply amazedly. I came hither with Hermia. Our intent was to be gone from Athens, where we might wed without the peril of the Athenian law.
Oh, enough, enough, my lord, you have enough. I make the law upon his head.
My lord, fair Helen told me of their stealth, of this their purpose hither to this wood. I in fury hither followed them, fair Helen in fancy following me. But, my good lord, I know not by what power, but by some power 'tis. My love for Hermia melted like the snow, and all the faith, the virtue of my heart, the object and pleasure of mine eye, is only Helena.
Fair lovers, you are fortunately met. Of this discourse we will more hear anon. Aegeus, I will overbear your rule. For in this temple, by and by with us, these couples shall be eternally knit. Away with us to Athens, 3 and 3. We'll hold a feast in great solemnity. Come, Hippolyta.
I have had a most rare vision. I have had a dream, past the wit of man to say what dream it was. Man is but an ass if he go about to expound this dream. Methought I was there. Is no man can tell what? Methought I was, and methought I had. I will get Peter Quince to write a ballad of this dream. It shall be called Bottom's Dream, because it hath no bottom. And I will sing it at the latter end of the play, before the Duke.
Where is our usual manager of mirth? What revels are in hand? Is there no play to ease the anguish of a torturing hour? Call
for this evening?
A tedious brief scene of young Pyramus and his love Thisbe. Very tragical mirth. And tragical, my noble lord, it is, for Pyramus therein doth kill himself, which, when I saw rehearsed, I must confess, made mine eyes water. But more merry tears the passion of loud laughter never shed.
I will hear that play. Go, bring them in, and take your places, ladies.
Places.
We offend. 'Tis with our good will that you should think. We come not to offend, but with good will, to show our simple skill. That is the true beginning of our end. We do not come as minding to contest you. Our true intent is all for your delight. We are not here that you should here repent you. The actors are at hand, and by their show you shall know all that you are like to know. Thank you.
This fellow doth not stand upon points.
I wonder if they'll allow me to speak.
In the same interlude, it doth befall that I would not by name present a wall, and through this wall may have you think I had it in a cranny pool or chink, through which the lovers Pyramus and Thisbe did whisper often, very secretively.
Pyramus draws near the wall. Silence!
Oh, grim-looked night. Oh, night with hue so black. Oh, night, whichever art when day is not. Oh, night. Oh, night. Alack. 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 I fear my Thisbe's promises forgot. Show me thy chink to blink through with mine eye. Thanks, courteous wall.
You're welcome.
But what see I? No Thisbe do I see. O wicked wall through whom I see no bliss. Cursed be thy stones for thus deceiving me.
Methinks being sensible the wall should curse again.
No, in truth, deceiving me is Thisbe's cue. She is to enter now, and I am to spy her through the wall. You shall see. It will fall pat as I told you. Yonder she comes.
Oh, wall! Full often hast thou heard my moans, for parting my fair Pyramus and me. My cherry lips have often kissed thy stones with lime and hair knit up in thee.
Now will I to the chink to spy, and I can hear my Thisbe's face. Thisbe,
My love, Lord, my love, I think.
think what thou wilt. I am thy lover's grace. Oh, kiss me through the hole of this vile wall. Oh.
Hey, whoa, we did not rehearse this.
Social distance.
Oh.
I kissed the walls all, yet your lips at all.
Wilt thou meet me at Nini's tomb straightway?
Thy light, thy death, I come without delay.
Oh.
Thus have I, wall, my part discharged so, and being done, thus wall away doth go.
This is the silliest stuff that ever I heard.
You, ladies, you, whose gentle hearts do fear the smallest monstrous mouse that creeps on floor, may now perchance both quake and tremble here, when lion rough in wildest rage doth roar. Then know that I, one snug the joiner, am one lion fell, nor else no lions down. For if I should, as lion come in strife, into this place, 'twere pity on my life.
A very gentle beast of a good conscience.
All that I have to say is that this lanthorn is the moon. I, the man in the moon. This thorn bush, my thorn bush. And this dog, My dog.
But silence, here comes Thisbe.
This is old Minnie's tomb. Where is my love? Where is my love?
Roar.
Where is my love?
Well roared, lion.
Thank you.
Well run, Thisbe.
Well shown, moon. Truly, the moon shines with a good grace.
Well mouthed, lion.
But stay, O spite, but mark poor night. What dreadful dole is here? Eyes, do you see? How can it be? O dainty duck, oh dear, thy mantle good, what stained it with blood?
This passion and the death of a dear friend would go near to make any man look sad.
Beshrew my heart, but I pity the man.
Oh, wherefore outdid thou lion's frame? Since lion foul hath here deflowered my dear. Out, sword, and wound the pap of Pyramus. I that left pap where heart doth hop. Thus die I. Thus. Now am I dead? Now am I fled? My soul is in the sky. Tongue, lose thy light. Moon, take thy flight. Now die! 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 Die!
With the help of the surgeon.
Die!
With the help of the
Die!
With the help of the surgeon. With the help of With the help of a surgeon, he might yet recover and prove an ass.
How chance moonshine is gone before Thisbe comes back to find her love.
Here comes Thisbe, and her passion ends the play.
Asleep, my love? Again, my love? Oh, speak, speak, arise. Dead, dead. Oh. Come, trusty babe. Come, sword, my breast imbue. Ah. Farewell, friends. Thus is the end. Adieu, adieu, adieu.
Blech.
Moonshine and Lion are left to bury the dead.
Aye, and Wall too.
No, I assure you, the wall is down that part of their fathers. Will it please you to see the epilogue?
No epilogue, I pray you. For your play needs no excuse. Never an excuse. For when the players are all dead, there needs none to be blamed. The iron tongue hath told 12. Lovers, to bed. 'Tis almost fairy time. Through the house give glimmering light, by the dead and drowsy fire. Every elf and every sprite, how blight is bird from briar. Sing, and dance it trippingly.
First, rehearse your song by rote, to each word a warbling note. Hand in hand, a fairy grace, we will sing and bless this place.
If we shadows have offended, think but this, and all is mended, that you have but slumbered here while these visions did appear, and this weak and idle theme, no more yielding but a dream. Gentles, do not reprehend. If you pardon, we will mend. Give me your hands if we be friends, and Robin shall restore amends.
Thank you for watching our presentation of A Midsummer's Night Dream.
That's fantastic.
We have the chat up in front of us, so if any questions you have for myself, the director, any of the actors, please feel free to throw it in the chat. But what we're actually going to do to start us off is something that we have not done yet, actually, as a cast. This whole process for us was pretty wild and crazy. We didn't have a lot of time to sit and discover. It was kind of go, go, go from the very beginning. So we're actually going to have a little reflection time to ask each other questions about what this process was like and why we made some of the decisions we made. So first off, I'm just kind of curious. Oh, yes, Jamal.
Why?
Why what?
Why this? Why this production?
Well, we were originally going to actually do a children's show during this slot for our season. And we decided that rather than doing a show for children, we wanted to get material that might be a little bit more challenging for our students here at Nassau, but try to make it accessible even to a younger audience. So as you all watching may have noticed, normally when you think of Shakespeare, you might be thinking of a much longer play. So we tried to distill this down into something that was very palatable. Something that whether or not you love Shakespeare and you watch a lot of it and you read a lot of it, or you're not really into Shakespeare, you can digest the story regardless of where you're coming from. That was one reason why we chose Midsummer, and we chose to do it in this kind of format. Another thing, the reality of the pandemic, and trying to find a way where we can incorporate having face coverings, and not being able to physically touch one another and get close to one another. What kind of story would that work in? And then I had the idea to use puppets instead of people for some of these things. So we can still have people, kissing and fighting and being silly and touching without having to break social distancing. So kind of the ideas of how the world of puppetry can work in Midsummer's Night Dream. Coupled with trying to find things that were a challenging material for our students, and the idea of still making that accessible for all audiences. That's a lot of why we came up with Midsummer, and just the puppets in general. Also wanted to play. I don't know if anybody got this, but we were also trying to play around with the idea of class with the puppets. And if you might notice that only the magical creatures were real people. And then anybody who was a human either had some sort of other mask on, or they were a specific type of puppet. So we tried to have the rude mechanicals be kind of the most basic puppets, right? Because they're the working class rude mechanicals, and the upper class were a little more elegant stick puppets. And then we had the royalty, had those masks on, and then the magical creatures were full control of their bodies. But yeah, that's kind of why we did some of that. Cool. I'm curious, let me see. Oh, we have somebody, I was going to ask a question about the puppet, but somebody else had just asked a question about the puppet. So, for you all, what was the process like working with puppets, those who did, and what was it in the level of difficulty in terms of trying to control the puppets?
Yeah.
Anybody can take that.
Yeah, the puppets were a little bit difficult the first day we got them. The wooden puppets, because they were a whole new thing for us. We didn't know how to use the sticks, how to get their limbs to operate correctly, how to get them to express a certain emotion by manipulating them in a certain way. It was just really hard. That and their body parts kept falling off.
Oh my god.
I said this last night, but yeah, their body parts kept falling off. Every rehearsal, somebody's body part would fall off, be it Demetrius, Lysander. Hermia's hair kept falling off.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was crazy.
We lost a lot of good body parts.
Thankfully, Elmer's glue exists. So.
Wood glue.
Demetrius's army will be missed.
Yeah.
Well, because as I mentioned, the whole rehearsal process was very truncated. A lot of the what we would have discovered during rehearsal was discovered during our production of it. Yeah. So we really had to be quick in our problem solving. But in terms of the idea of working with the puppets, since most of our rehearsal took place on Zoom, and we were actually in the space only maybe the equivalent of one full rehearsal day, a full day, before we actually got the cameras in here and started working, like a few hours here and there. So a lot of you might have had the puppet to work with a little bit, but working with the puppet in the space, that was a big, you just had to jump right into it. What was that like for all of you? And playing with comedy, not just having comedic timing within your own body, but comedic timing within the puppet. What was that process like for anybody who wants to jump in?
Well, working with the puppet in your room, like on Zoom, is very different than working with a puppet in real life, and having your puppet communicate with the other puppet that someone else was controlling. So it was a lot to get used to, and have the puppets like feed off of one another was a very interesting process.
Yeah, to back up on that, yeah, it was definitely interesting, especially the wood puppets, just to go back on that, because you have these, like, how long was it, like 2 feet sticks? I don't even know.
3 feet.
3 feet sticks. You have
3
to hold
feet,
it
so
up.
if you have 3 feet and they have 3 feet, you got 6 feet. Right?
Wow. Anyways, you had these poles, and you had to figure out how to control it with this tiny little person that you had to properly emote with, and it was very difficult. And then you have these hand puppets where it's like, their faces are stoic. You can't move their face. So you got to work with what they're giving in order to put that there to give it to the audience. Got Jamal here. He's chilling out right now. He's taking a break. He's been through a lot. But, honestly, it was difficult, but it was a good kind of difficult. Like the challenge you want to take. So, yeah, if you guys want to get a puppet, now's your time.
Another question that I never got a chance to actually ask anybody. I know when we started this process, we kind of had like a really quick crash course with Shakespeare. Some of you have done Shakespeare before. Some of you have done a lot. Some of you have done very little to no Shakespeare before. How, after doing this play, how do you all feel about Shakespeare, working on Shakespeare, your confidence level in Shakespeare? I have no idea.
Well, I for one, I have always been a fan of Shakespeare. And it started in 9th grade when I first read Romeo and Juliet, and the character Mercutio just instantly got me hooked. But before I read Romeo and Juliet, the first ever Shakespeare play I actually read was A Midsummer Night's Dream, and I didn't understand it to the full extent that I do now. I really didn't have an appreciation for it. I did enjoy Puck's comic relief, and of course the donkey head transformation scene. But other than that, I really didn't think much of it. But now, after being in the show, after you performed in a story that's well known, you have a real appreciation for it.
I think I learned a lot that Shakespeare really comes down to the language, and if you understand what you're saying, that point will come across. The language isn't something that we speak now, and even for audiences who see it, they might not be used to hearing the way that it's spoken, but they're still able to get the message if the actor knows what they're saying. So if you put the meaning behind it, it makes more sense. It was all just about translating it to modern English in our minds and being able to have the two coincide at the same time. A lot of people will rush Shakespeare and they'll say it quicker than what they actually mean. So taking the correct pauses and figuring out what you're actually saying was really helpful.
And No Fear Shakespeare is a wonderful invention, I might add.
No, I hate No Fear Shakespeare. I hate No Fear Shakespeare.
It got me through high school.
No.
Spark notes.
No Fear Shakespeare. Michael Mullen at NCC, if you want to ask me why I hate No Fear Shakespeare.
He's ready to tell
God, I
them
hate No Fear Shakespeare.
Oh my gosh.
But hopefully you all didn't fear Shakespeare watching this.
We really do hope you guys understood this, as horrible of a pun that was. We really hope you enjoyed, because we spent a lot of time working with this production, trying to figure out what the heck's going on and try to, portray it to the audience, because, not everyone knows what this show is, and a lot of people who have seen it probably have a different interpretation. So hopefully seeing this in a new light probably brought some form of enjoyment in comedy, because usually when you hear Shakespeare, you assume sad, droopy, oh, I'm so dramatic, But in this case, we really hope you did get a feel for it and, explore more. So yeah.
Oh, another interesting question just popped up. What was the audition process like? Because we rehearsed mostly on Zoom. But the audition process was also on Zoom. So to audition with puppets that people don't have, using their bodies in ways that they can't, what was the audition process like?
I remember using a lion puppet. You all remember the lion puppet? Yes. So basically, when I got the audition process, like we had to use a action figure or something that we can manipulate, like a puppet. And I chose like a Star Wars action figure of Han Solo. And this is a funny story. I introduced him as, hello, have you all met Harrison Ford, the love of my life? And that has become a meme amongst us. And also, the lion puppet that I had, it looked, if you watched the show, you know that my character Starveling was supposed to be a little bit, how do I put this?
Eccentric.
Stoic even.
Bill and Ted, if you will. But yeah, the lion puppet, its eyes looked as if it were in,
So what was the audition process like?
No, but it was fun. The audition process was really fun. I really enjoyed it. We had to read sonnets. It was really, the sonnet we had to read was fantastic. I loved it. We had to read some lines from Midsummer Night's Dream. I tried out for Lysander and Demetrius, and I ended up getting Demetrius.
It was really interesting. A lot of us just like brought socks, and
I forgot about that.
and because I didn't have an action figure to use, so I just brought a sock. And it was weird at first because I've never done puppetry. So I think that this experience was really helpful in that puppetry is like a specific form of theater that a lot of people don't dabble in. So the fact that we were able to do that, but going from the audition to the final product, I see the transformation in our use of puppets. Like the audition process, it was not easy to all of a sudden like start using a sock or anything that we had when we had never done it. But after training with it, it feels much more natural, so it was good.
I thought, doing the auditions, it was like, it was very loose and like kind of free, well, Mike, our wonderful director here, he kind of just emailed us the sides to read and was like, just have at it, do it however you want, use funny voices, play around with the puppets and such. And I thought, it was a great way to, do something different with auditions, because auditions are, auditions can be very nerve-wracking, but to have this like freedom to do whatever you want made it a little less nerve-wracking.
Especially for a Shakespeare audition, because the language is very hard when you haven't done it before. So the pressure was off where he was like, just like have fun and try things. So it was a nice like creative space to start experimenting. And then we were able to use that throughout the show with the way they used the puppets.
And you all did. It was great to see you all in the audition being creative and doing multiple things, because we have a relatively small cast for the amount of characters that are in this show. And that was also very intentional. We see that we're all here right now. This isn't even the entire cast. And if we had a larger cast, we wouldn't fit on stage in a safe way. So we needed to have a cast that could play a bunch of different roles and do different things like that. So you all kind of showed that in your audition.
Shout out to the school for letting us do this in the first place. I haven't done it. I personally haven't done an in-person performance since my senior year, and it luckily did not get interrupted with the whole pandemic going on. So the fact that we were able to sit here, do this live with you guys interacting, it's an incredible chance. And we want to thank the school for that. So yeah, thanks guys.
Mike,
a few other questions.
If you don't mind, I have a question for you. Because you cast us in different, multiple roles. Was there like a rhyme or reason to like why you casted us, who you casted us as? Because I was Lysander, flute, and then the bush fairy. Like, was there like
I was called like Demetrius Starveling. Like, what was your?
So a lot of it is like the math of from scene to scene, like could I mean, we changed a lot, we'll know, like during the process of what the blocking was in a short period of time. So much was from scene to scene. Does it make mathematical sense that you could get from this to this? Or what would that transition look like? Would that be a really fumbly, awkward transition? Or could that be an interesting thing to see how you transform from one thing to the next? So trying to have the foresight as much as possible to see that. Also, we know we have the different puppets, the different classes, and how often those interact. And that also goes into a question somebody asked about how we shorten the script, because this script is much is cut a lot. And a lot of the cutting of it was also, okay, mathematically this won't work. So if we cut it, then we can make it work. But again, trying to distill the story with the cutting of the script too. So what is really like the essence of this story? We rearrange things. The beginning of the play is not the same beginning of the play as the actual text. But we thought it was really important to show that the fairies are the bookend of this world. And this is their story that they're telling. So we thought it was very important to start with the image and close with the image of the forest asleep, and then the forest awake. And the forest awakes when the human world is dreaming. And they kind of play around with that idea. But with the different classes, trying to make sure that, so everybody needed to be a magical creature. So I knew I couldn't have the cast larger than how many magical creatures there were. That was kind of the starting point. And from there, where could we double things up? So a lot of you had a second character who were playing puppets, who was or 3 characters total, where you had 1 in each class, a human in each class. But the math didn't even work out that way, especially for Bottom, right? And then for the actors playing Titania, Puck, and Oberon, there's just too much interaction in those worlds that it didn't make sense for them to have that kind of thing. So trying to figure out your track, so how many different tracks there are in terms of combinations for how people can play multiple things. And then it was tough to try to figure out, who could play both of these things. I mean, you can't, the mechanicals and the lovers generally are very different types of actors you would cast for both of those sections. So it was really really wonderful to have all of you that could jump in and be really silly and be melodramatic, romantic.
I want to ask a question to the viewers.
Whoa.
What was your favorite part? Put it in the chat right now. I just want to know. I'm curious, because I have my favorite part. I'll actually ask it to the rest of the cast. What's your favorite part in the show? Whoever wants to go first,
My favorite part was, well, I have 2 favorite parts. Number 1, my drum solo. I literally bought that drum the day before we shot the video. Like, I ordered it on Amazon, and I'm like, okay, for the first night, I'm like, okay, I got, because Professor Michael, he wanted me to do a drum solo. Like, I told him, hey, I can play the drums, I can do this. And he's like, that's great. Do you have a drum? And I'm like, yeah, I have a drum. And I went on Amazon, ordered the drum, and then I'm like, yeah, I have a drum.
I know, the next day you're like, hey, I ordered a drum. I was like, I thought you had a drum.
Like, I ordered a drum. But, the scene worked out great. And I just really liked it. The dancing. I had to look at the drum, because every time I looked at the dance, I was gonna laugh, like I was gonna break it. So I had to look down at the drum. It was crazy. And my second favorite scene was the fight between Lysander and Demetrius, where Demetrius body slams Lysander. And that's my favorite because there was a blooper one night where Demetrius, the pulls on him slipped, and it sent Lysander into the set, and I'm like, oh, that wasn't supposed to happen.
We had a lot of technical difficulties while doing this.
Yeah.
Indeed. A fun learning process.
Fun learning process.
One thing too, just because we are all masked and we were masked and costumed during the show, somebody want to just be reminded of if we could introduce ourselves.
Yes, that makes sense.
That's a lovely point. Let's go around in a circle.
Let's go around, kind of think around. And what characters you played? Who you are and what characters you played?
My name is Elizabeth, and I played Helena, Snug, and the water fairy. Peas Blossom.
She was the little lion.
Yeah.
I'm Molly. I was Titania and Hippolyta, and I also stage managed.
Hi, my name is Tatiana Wimmer. I played Demetrius, Starveling, and Cobweb.
I'm Christine, and I played Puck,
and Philostrate.
I'm Liam. I played Lysander, Flute, and Bush Fairy.
Hello, everybody. My name is Patrick Gallagher. I played Mr. Peter Quince right here. Hello, everyone. And of course, also King Aegeus, as well as the fairy Mustard Seed.
Hello, everyone. My name's Renee, and I played. Who did I play? I played Moth. I promise I know. I played Moth. I played Jamal. I mean Snout. I named it Jamal, and I also played Hermia, which I also named Denise. Denise is not here right now, but I have Jamal here. Jamal, if you want to say hello. I appreciate y'all having me out here, and I would love to make an experience this great with you guys. This was incredible. Follow me on Insta. You know the vibes. It's Jamal123. No cap.
Great. Some of the audience just says they love all the fight scenes, and we have a bottom singing Queen to Awaken Titania, classic bottom.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was good.
But so on that, we are theater people, and we can hang out all night and we wish we were in person, that we can actually be with other people telling stories. We are so grateful that we are able to have this experience, and even though we're not live in the same place, we're grateful to be live with an audience right now. So thank you all for joining us. Tell your friends we have one more show. Thank you. Have a great night.